0, 1. Let's get started.
Hello and welcome back, traders. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you all my professional day trading strategy using a stock of your interest. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about none other than Meta Platforms, okay? So let me get my big face out of the way so I can show you how you can make some money here in the next few days. Now, when taking a look at Meta Platforms specifically, you can pretty much see that it does have a pretty bullish move going to the upside. Now, going into that upside move, we have a pretty much definitive range central point. Now, that's going to help us characterize the future of its support and resistance, okay? So with that being said, if we kind of forward up a bit here, we can figure out the deviations both above and below by now just getting a couple copies and pastes and getting those deviations going. So subjectively, this is going to be the support, and then also somewhere right around here is going to be resistance, all right? So with those deviations now being pretty crucially defined above and below, we can figure out what the swing is. Now this swing is going to be this whole move above this rectangle and the central point, okay? So that being said, this blue, let's just change it to yellow, box is still what we're basically expecting here to come in the future. So don't really be too surprised if we do find ourselves basically rotating back to the downside, looking for some support off of this low, and then coming all the way back up to this prior high, which for right now is situated at this topping point of somewhere right around, what is this, like 738.5, okay? So just be aware that that's kind of like the crucial point that we're trying to get back up to, somewhere right around there. And again, the crucial pivot that we're trying to get down to is going to be somewhere right around 726.75. So you may be asking yourselves, can you trade it to the downside? Yes, you can, but just be aware again that this is a bullish overall range, which means statistically speaking, it's more advantageous to look for buying opportunities off the low, okay? Now, to be most crucial, just be aware that there can be a couple different patterns and areas of support, mainly these three as follows. So it's going to be this level right here. It's going to be this level as well as this level, okay? So combine all of these three levels with the major support being this low right here at 726. You can get a couple different variations. So this will be the most preferred, in which we can get down relatively low, giving us the most opportunity to make money as we rotate back up higher. However, like I said, we just need to get underneath some of these pivots. So if we do find ourselves having some sort of shallow pullback, we can then look for another variation, the Gore pattern, to get ourselves in this move early as we look for rotation now going back up to the upside, still hitting those same targets more or less. It can be slightly now dimmed based on the fact that we only have come down just a little bit as well. So we can now use this full distance underneath to assume that at the very least we're going to be trying to target somewhere right around this. Let me clone this. 735.75. We can say 736. Okay. So these are like the two variations I'd prefer to happen over the next couple of days here. Obviously, this one being a little bit more of a bull case scenario, and this one still being bullish, just slightly less because of the momentum is going to carry it down. Okay. Now, the most important thing, ladies and gentlemen, is to remember that it won't be until, okay, we break down thoroughly past 726 do we need to think about changing our opinions, okay? Because from that perspective, we would look at it in terms of basically a continuation pattern going lower. So it should be pretty obvious, in which we basically just blow through the floor, and then we can look to now sell the market as we go back down, okay? So use that as your real bear case scenario. And then again, objectively, just find yourselves in the correct support, which we will cover obviously when trading the S&P 500 in the live streams that we have every Monday through Friday at 9:30. Okay. So as it stands right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking at this as a consolidation, preferring that we actually break down so we can buy either off of this early low, or best case scenario, getting underneath to the 726, looking for a deeper pullback in which we can still buy back to the upside. Okay. We have different levels of support obviously ahead, and in worst case scenario, we'll rotate all the way back down. Now, there's obviously an opportunity in which we go up first, but in that instance, we will basically just kind of have to play it a little tighter to the vest, trying to get in as low as possible. But again, you would want to see this market break healthily above some of these highs, because ultimately what it's looking to do is rotate back down to finish off that swing, okay? So it is looking to finish the swing, then go back up, versus it doing some sort of like straight up. Now it can obviously, and in that scenario, you're just wanting to get in as low as possible, which is why I highlighted this sort of kink in this move going higher. Okay. So there you have it, everyone. And also, last thing, once we do get to this high, kind of hands off until it shows what's going to happen next, okay? Because once it gets to this high, it's either going to break down, coming all the way back through the low, making some sort of various sort of corrective range, or you could get lucky and find it breaking out, okay? Now, again, it will be luck if it does break out, and you need to be aware that you need to see what happens. If you're not already in a position based on a good entry point, then just let it simmer. See what happens and then play it from there, okay? So those are the variations that I'm looking at, ladies and gentlemen, for tomorrow's market session here on Meta Platforms, okay? So make sure you join me tomorrow morning for the live stream where I day trade the S&P 500 using these exact same strategies. Look down below for all the various links to get you updated on how to learn this exact strategy so you can know the risk to reward and all the good stuff that comes with it, okay? So I just want to say thank you for giving me some of your time, and I'll see you all on the next candle.
I know it's hard to trust so-called gurus. That's why I live stream my trades every single day, Monday through Friday, starting at 9:30 a.m. The live stream isn't for you to copy my trades, it's to show proof and credibility that my strategy works. The stream is delayed and muted to protect my edge. But if you want to see everything unmuted and in real time, check out the Discord and Patreon links below. You'll get exclusive perks and the opportunity to learn the system for yourself, so you don't miss great opportunities just like this one.
All right, everyone. So this is going to be one of the trades of the week, and ultimately you can see that we have entered in just above this swing high. Now, the general principle of this is that the lines above represent different levels of a range, and we're essentially looking to rotate now back up through that range. Now, using a volatility-based stop loss, that basically dictates the stop loss and first target based on the day's volatility, so it's a little bit different every single day, has determined where our stop loss is as well as our first target. Now, using some other methods, that's how we got the above levels. And at this point, because we've already have everything kind of situated, we just need to sit back and wait and let time play itself out. Now, just be aware that there usually is a bit of turbulence, and this is a great example of that. And again, once everything is kind of set in stone, our main job is to let things run its course, okay? So as I just progressed in the time lapse here a bit, you can see that we did end up pushing up after that major pullback. And with a little bit of help, as you can see, we soon ended up getting our first target. Now, at this particular point, we kind of just let price action do its thing, not reaching the midpoint of this range, which is our secondary target for right now, okay? But as you can see, after we did get that second target, I let price action just kind of progress on its own for a bit. But once we start getting too high, I do adjust my stop loss accordingly, okay? Now, in this particular situation, you will start to see me adjust the stop loss based on the fact that we are relatively close to the third target, and we don't want to give away too much of our gains, okay? So with our, I don't know if it's that big of a deal to tell you all, but we do use a particular system in trailing our stops, in which you will learn as a member of the Discord/Patreon, okay? This is just one of many great examples that you'll be able to have every single week as a member. So if you don't want to miss trades just like this, then look down below.